The plaintiff, Steve Redmond, says he got a lube job when he went to a friend for new brakes. He's suing for $990. The defendant claims he was just trying to help a friend.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Hey,
Case number 36 on the docket, Redmond versus Dunham.
we have the plaintiff, Mr. Redmond.
Correct.
And you are suing the defendants, Mr. and Mrs. Dunham.
Correct.
And you're suing them in the amount of $990 for car damages.
That is correct.
Why don't you tell me your side of the story here?
This was my former boss, was a very good friend of mine as well. I'm suing him today for $990
Why?
for car damages, some serious car damage, in fact.
Your car.
My fiance's car, 2010 Rogue.
Okay.
Yes.
So but the car is in your, you may stand up, and you are?
Victoria Porter.
And you are the fiance.
Correct.
Okay, and it's you own this car that we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so how are you in this story now? Why are you suing?
When I had come into work, Bob had volunteered to work on my vehicle.
You told him that...
We worked together.
Yes, and you told
time.
him my fiance's having trouble with her car.
With the brakes and to get an oil change. That's what we were going to get. But what I told him was, let me go ahead and get an estimate and speak with her first before having him work on the vehicle.
Okay.
Next day, I come into work, told him, hey man, I'm looking at, $600-800 to get all this work done. What he told me was, hey, I do work on my vehicle, fix my brakes. I've done my wife's as well. So ended up, he gave me his address, the information, brought it over there that Saturday. She said it was okay. He ended up releasing the transmission fluid instead of the oil fluid. So the car, it would bag up because he was on a hill, but we couldn't get it to move anywhere. We had to either gas it real hard or give it just a little push. Also, I was unable to drive it because the brake line on the driver's side, it was just leaking fluid. Come to find out, it was the wrong brake line. And when I found out all the damage that was done from the auto repair shop, I mean, it was unbelievable.
Before you filed the lawsuit, what did you say to him then?
What I asked him was, I said, look, make a payment, help me out here, or pay half. Well, he decided to pretty much just tell me, you know what, go yourself, with no Vaseline. You know what I mean? I was like, wow. I mean,
Wait,
you this serious?
Vaseline for the car, or am I...
I mean, that's how he did me, though, Jan. Hey, look.
What? Okay. What's your side of this story here?
Again, thanks, Jerry, for allowing us to be here with Judge Jerry.
Sure.
And to defend myself. And his story is missing some accuracies that need to be expressed here, all right? We did the work together on the vehicle, all right? That's principle number one. He did express to me, while we did share an office together, that his girlfriend's car needed a brake job and it needed new rotors. Okay, that was the specifics of the job.
Brake job and rotors.
And rotors. And I told him, in my experience working on my own vehicles and my wife's vehicle, I've done that before. And if I could help you do it, I'll help you do it and save you some money. And he, as he pointed out, called around and got some estimates at repair shops in that $800 ballpark. And he came back to me and he said, wow, I got $800 quotes. I'm like, well, you could probably get the parts for about $200 and we can do the job in my garage if you'd like. I'm willing to help you out if you want. And he said, well, if you're willing to do that, I guess let's do it. As far as the vehicle goes, the transmission fluid and the oil fluid, this is the first I'm ever hearing of this issue.
John,
I know the difference between an oil change and a transmission change, all right?
Yeah.
And this is the first time this was ever brought up. To Mr. Redmond's point about the car not moving forward, let me explain what that issue is. The ABS brakes will not allow a car to move forward if they are damaged. You have to take the fuse off in order to bypass that ABS brake system. In the process, and I explained this to Mr. Redmond before we even did the job, that the difficult job in taking off of a rotor, we may have to heat up the bolts with a torch to break that bolt, to get it off. The first wheel we did together, and again, he was there side by side, hand in hand, because he wanted to learn how to do it. The subsequent wheels. He did himself with me. Mr. Redmond knows I'm not a certified mechanic. He's known me long enough to know that I don't practice in a garage someplace on my downside. When he came to my house, it doesn't have a big sign that says Bob's Auto Repair Shop. We guarantee our work.
Okay, what I'm hearing so far is that you needed help with her car, and it's mentioned, like guys talk at work, hey, maybe I could help you out with that. So your friend volunteered to help you out. And you went over there, you two were kind of working together, talking about it. You weren't fighting when this was going on.
Look at these brake lines. If you see that you're doing damage like this, you just, wait, let me stop. Let me stop. I shouldn't be doing this.
That could be a curtain string to me. I don't know what any of this stuff is.
I have it all right here. All he had to do was do the brakes. If you didn't have the right tools or whatever the case was, just say, hey, Steve, you know what? I'll just do the oil change for you. And, you know, as far as this brake job go, because of these lug nuts, whatever the case was, then...
How do you respond to what he just said?
The lug nuts, I can tell you from the very get-go, was brought up ahead of time that because we had to borrow the torch from my father to do the brake job on my vehicle that Bob did. And that was the hardest part of the whole job. So this was explained to Steve at the office that we have to heat up the lug nuts. That's the way to get them off.
Okay.
Your Honor, again, I feel bad about this. I'm sorry for what happened in the end. I lost a friend. I lost a good coworker that worked with me.
And we'll never help anyone again.
Yeah, and it really makes me question my judgment and how much I want to volunteer to help anybody in the future if this is going to be the outcome of what that help might exist from.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this, when you make a judgment to go to a non-professional, just some friend, to help you out, and we've all been there, hey, can you fix this, can you fix that? You take the risk. The good news is it's a hell of a lot cheaper. The bad news is they're not professionals.
Yeah.
So something could get screwed up. By his work, you're going to wind up spending $900 instead of $800. I'm going to fine for you for $100, not a penny more, because it didn't work what he did, but he certainly wasn't being either negligent or evil or whatever. He's never said that he was an expert in this. You made a decision, rather than going to a professional, you decided to go to someone you never met. You trusted your fiance, but you never met. He makes an excellent point. He doesn't have to pay. You know, you guys came into his life on this issue. He didn't ask for it. So I fine for the plaintiff $100.
Thank you.
You know, I really thought, you know, there was negligence done. And if you don't feel as though, you know what you're doing, and especially when you see something burning, I mean, this is ridiculous. And to keep going, to do more damage to it, nah.
It was probably the fairest decision that he could make for both parties. You know, I wasn't malice or intending to do that much damage or any damage at all. Mr. Redmond came to me. I offered to help. I helped based on what my knowledge was, and that's that.